Everybody, and welcome back to, well, an unfortunate round, it has to be said, as you can see on your screens, you are misled. I could not get Malaysia working for the life of me. Every single time I would try and load it, it would just never load. So, luckily, thanks to a fantastic mod, we've made some slight changes to the calendar, which also means we had to bin off Hockenheim, which is a bit of a shame, but hey-ho. So we've changed the calendar a little bit, and you guys are about to find out where we actually are, and there weren't many options, not many good options for where we could go to as an alternative, but I think where we chose was probably the best bet in terms of making sense for the rest of the season. But yeah, we've got some resource points to spend just making sure we're getting that chassis up to spec, as it's pretty terrible, as you guys have seen from the past few races. The car is, well, all over the place a lot of the time, and yeah, it's so hard to control on the rear end, and we definitely need some more rear stability and a lighter chassis. But it's time for qualifying. Let's do this. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. We are here at Paul Ricard Le Castellet for the third round of the 1998 Formula 1 season. And yes, it's a controversial choice, but I mean, where else would we have gone? Let's be real. I didn't really know where else to choose, so the French Grand Prix is going to have to do. And obviously, if Magny Cours was on this game, I would prefer to go there, but unfortunately this game isn't really good for modding tracks. But we move past that. I digress. We move away from the issues of the calendar and the game and move on to qualifying for our first few runs. And yeah, just getting used to the braking points on this track again and in this car, and learning that first gear is basically unusable because of how much wheel spin you get. Even around that final corner, I was sticking in second. But our first lap then is going to be a 39.19, a fairly okay-ish lap, put us sort of in the middle of the pack. But our second lap, though, was where we found a lot of time. Around the final corner, 1.3 seconds up, looking to be around a 37, yes, a 37.8. Decent lap, puts us firmly inside the top 10 in 6th place. But on our final qualifying run, again, like I said last week, I had to be the last car out. And look at the top right, we just about made it over the line with 1 second left on the clock. So we had to make this lap count, and as you can see, it was not a very good turn 1 and 2 at all. We managed to gain a little bit of time through the middle sector, but getting a bit of wheel spin around that final corner, turn 15. And on our way to the line, we're 7th at the moment. Can we improve? We're going to find out. Did we improve? Oh, it's a top 5 start. Superb result for us. Let's go. Hello everybody, and welcome back to the 1998 Formula 1 World Championship, brought to you by myself, Aaron Smith. And will you join us here at Le Castellet in France for the third round of what's going to be another interesting Grand Prix. Very, very good conditions to be racing here today. Nice and dry, 5.8 kilometers, 3.6 miles, 15 turns. One of the more simplistic tracks on the calendar. Of course, you have that long Mistral Straight that runs for forever, and that chicane obviously being a sort of controversial point for it having many different layouts. Of course, this track I think has over 100 different layouts which is just, yeah, absolutely incredible for a modern Formula 1 track. And, well, at the moment this season, it's gone the way of the Ferraris, with Eddie Irvine storming away at the front, taking 2 victories in the opening 2 rounds, and Michael Schumacher following firmly behind. We'll see what he can do in this race. If he can take the challenge, or if anyone can take the challenge to Eddie Irvine, as he has really got the ball rolling this season, a massive improvement for him. Well, once again, it was the Ferrari of Eddie Irvine taking pole position, with Schumacher lining up alongside. Good start for the Ferraris here in France, with Mika Hakkinen and David Coulthard rounding out the second row. And then it's Aaron Smith in the Benetton, Jacques Villeneuve 6th, Herbert 7th, Frentzen 8th, Damon Hill 9th, Alesi 10th, Fisichella 11th, Schumacher 12th, Barrichello 13th, Magnussen 14th, Nakano 15th, Genet 16th, Mika Salo in 17th, De La Rosier in 18th, Ricardo Rossi in 19th, and Jos Verstappen in last in the Tyrrell.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
I couldn't agree more, Jeff. I am super, super excited to finally have a good qualifying, and hopefully we can put it to good use. And we're just waiting for the lights to go out now here in France. And we are underway here in Le Castellet, and so far we've got a decent start. We've managed to cover off the Williams behind us, but not enough to jump the 2 McLarens. We're going to slot in behind them as we're fighting Villeneuve for 5th right now. But he's just going to get the better of us as we run wide on the exit, and that's one of the Jordans who is out of the race. I think that's Schumacher, who had some kind of incident into turn 1, but we're going to have to move on from that. For now, he's out of the race. We've only got 19 runners. No safety car, though. And we've lost a place off the start. We're going to have to gain it back, surely, as the Williams has looked... It has potential this season, but they just need to put it to good use. But through there, through turn 6 and turn 7, which have absolutely no rear stability whatsoever. But now we're under pressure from the Sauber behind us. They seem to be our biggest rivals this season, but we run wide into the chicane of 8 and get all loosey, and we're drifting it through turn 9. I think we squeezed Frentzen, but there's something happened behind us. And there's a yellow flag, and that's Damon Hill, who's out of the race. We got a safety car on lap 1. And admittedly, I got a little bit squirmy. But we're going to have a look at a replay of what actually happened. And here's Damon Hill going... Oh, yeah, that was a bit of a sticky one. As I think that was Herbert who came back onto the track, who... not the best rejoin, but...
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
And we've got a strategy change from Jeff, who suggests we come in at the end of this lap.
Okay, let's get ready to go racing
getting very close to Villeneuve there. But I wasn't initially going to pit on this safety car, and admittedly this is a late call, but I decided to take a risk. And yeah, I know it's a late call, and we probably should have done this a lap earlier, but I mean, why not? What have we got to lose? We're probably going to be overtaken by the Williams anyway, and well, we just got to do something bold and make this race a little bit more interesting for myself and the rest of the grid as we come in for a stop. It's got to be good. It's a decent stop, 2.3 seconds again. That seems to be around where our pit crew are. Not bad at all as we now come out of the pits, obviously in last. And yeah, the 2 Jordans then both out of the race already on the opening lap. A terrible start for them. But now we've got to push. As there's Salo clearly having some kind of issue. I don't know if he has a puncture or an engine problem. But there's someone off ahead, and that's our teammate. No, that's Fizzy. That's Fizzy off into turn 1, and that's Magnussen as well. I wonder if they've had a coming together. And we're going to have a look, and oh no, it's just Fizzy by himself with an engine issue. Oh, such a shame. That's Fizzy out of the race. No. Oh, and here's Magnussen. What happened to him on the exit of turn 2? Just too much mustard, and spins the car around and then just has to do a pretty... Oh, cool, don't rejoin there. God, that could have been bad. But now we are all over the back of the Tyrrell of Ricardo Rossi. The Tyrrells this season have actually shown a lot of promise, you know. And, well, Yep, he's not giving us any room. And we're just going to try and get the switch back on him, but doing the switch back in these cars is not a easy challenge, as you obviously have found out, but we're going to overtake him easily on the straight and just give him a little bit of a nudge, just to say, screw you for not leaving me any space. And here is the next Tyrrell of Josh Verstappen. Are we going to send it into the final corner? No, we're going to be patient and try and get a good exit. But as we found out, that's nearly impossible in our car that has absolutely zero traction. It's like the F1 2022 game, but worse. As, well, maybe not as bad, but yeah, we overtake Verstappen into turn 1. Actually, before that, the Tyrrells, the back markers in this game really don't have any straight line speed whatsoever. And we slot ourselves into 8th place. This strategy working out decently so far, as these guys at the top haven't made their stop yet, as now we're on the back of the arrows of Pedro de la Rosa, who's on the medium tyres at the moment. He's going for a bit of a more aggressive strategy. We're on the hards though, and in a much, much faster car into turn 1. Easy as you like. He tries to put a nose up in there, gets a little bit squirrely off the exit, and yeah, we leave him for dust. And now we move on to the Minardi. The back marker's really going for a good strategy around here, but not good enough for us though. We're going to overtake Nakano into turn 11. Good overtake if I do say so myself, and it's getting a bit cloudy here as the track temperature starts to fall off a bit, so I mean that's good for our rear tyres. They won't overheat as much as they're probably on fire. Here is the next Minardi though of Marc Gené, 5th place, probably the highest a Minardi has ever been in their entire lives. Are we going to do what we did to his teammate a lap ago? Yes, we are. Good overtake. Questionable line though from me. Don't really know what I was doing there. Ignore it. Would be greatly appreciated. Now we got the Ferrari of Schumacher behind us, who came in for his first stop, I believe. And yeah, he's easily going to breeze past us. And we may be quicker than the Minardis, but we are not that quick. And their extra gear really giving them a big boost. If we had one more gear, we could easily take the fight to them. Okay, maybe not easily, but we'd put up more of a fight. But here's our second stop then, coming in for a set of medium tyres now. We were up in 3rd place there, going long on our first stint. Actually, second stint, I almost forgot we were on the soft tyres for a moment. It's been a long race. Let me off. But once again, come on, Benetton, give us a good stop. And 2.4, and I mess up the clutch release completely because I'm a prat. Well done, me. And we're probably... we come out in 6th still. We slot ahead nicely, but we've got the Sauber of Jean Alesi behind us. Brilliant. We're going to be... We're going to be battling the Saubers again, aren't we? Yep. Yeah, look at the gap. He's right behind us. Fantastic. But oh dear. There's a VSC. And that's Gené, I think. That's crashed out somewhere. I'm going to take a replay. It is one of the Minardis, and oh dear. Yeah, these cars are really, really sensitive. If you can't tell, they cannot take any punishment at all. And well, yeah, you found out there that it really doesn't take much, but I'm going to find out why I hate the Saubers now, as Alesi moves himself up into 6th place ahead of us. But we seem to both be on relatively the same pace. It's just whoever has the slipstream. And now coming into the chicanes of 8 and 9, we seem to be quicker through here, but Alesi's made a mistake, so we're definitely going to be quicker through here as we just pull alongside and pull away from him. And as you can see, there's really nothing between us in terms of straight line speed. And we move ourselves back up to 6th place, as this is going to be another battle between us. I have the feeling it's going to be like this all season.
4.2 seconds.
And, well, yeah, on this main straight, though, the Mistral straight, we're sort of a sitting duck, especially when trying to save fuel. And, yeah, you're going to see Alesi pull alongside and breeze past into 6th place, but we're not going to make it easy for him. We're going to try and re-overtake him round the outside of turn 9. And because we're in lean mix, trying to save a little bit of fuel, Yeah, there wasn't really much we could do there, and we just had to sit behind him for the moment, but we're not going to give it up that easily, as we seem to be fairly quick through this last few corners. It's going to be an aggressive move, but yeah, can't really do that. Oh, but he went a little bit squirrely on the exit of turn 11. And yeah, at first that was going to be an illegal overtake, but yeah, we managed to get ahead and stay ahead. As you can see, we managed to hold him off for the rest of the race. It's a classic French Grand Prix where not much has happened, but sometimes no news is good news as we come home in P6. Another fantastic result for the team. We have been so consistent this season, and hopefully we can keep up the good progress. Maybe Fizzy needs a little bit more reliability, but nevertheless, we can be happy with that.
Another superb French Grand Prix comes to an end, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again.
And, well, Eddie Irvine then taking another victory. I mean, can he be stopped? I mean, it's like the opposite of the 98 season. Irvine was terrible in 1998. And in my save, he's just running away with it. And, yeah, wow. And as mentioned to Barrichello as well, coming from 13th to finish in 5th. I do think maybe on our strategy, had we pit a lap earlier, it would have paid off more, and maybe if we hadn't gone on the strategy at all, we might have finished ahead of him. But you know, who knows? You have to take risks in this sport sometimes, and they might pay off, they might not pay off, who knows. But it's been a good season for us so far with Benetton, but the car is definitely limiting our potential 100%, and yeah, we're gonna need to upgrade this car a lot over the next, you know, coming however many races are left, 14, I can't count, 13, however many. But it's been a good start to the season, though. We're ahead of Williams and Stewart, and especially Sauber, who I consider to be our biggest rivals at the moment. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will try and be more consistent with these uploads. And I've been Aaron Smith. I'll see you next time.